Hey everybody, this is the long overdue update video, and tonight I'm going to give shout outs to three really great model railroaders that I've become friends with through the YouTube Model Builders Live functions. And I'm sure you know most of them. If you don't, you need to subscribe to their channels. They're great modelers. They have great layouts, and they do great work. And the first I'm going to talk about, and this is in no particular order, only that you see the stuff laying there on the layout. The order has to do with how I have the stuff laid out. So over here on this corner of the layout are some 89-foot flat cars that I got from Deryk Glass. I'm sure most of you know Deryk. He was instrumental in getting the YouTube Model Builders Live series of programs up with Modeler Man Mike. And what Deryk had here were, I think, 5 boxes of 89-foot flat cars that he wasn't going to use. There's probably 10 at least of these cars in here, and Deryk didn't have any use for them. If you remember, if you're a subscriber of his, about, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago, he posted a video where he had some of these cars, and if anyone had an interest in them, to let him know. So I told him I was interested. If he was going to try and sell them, I said, if you can't ever sell them, just let me know and I'll take them off your hands, being the good friend that I am. And anyway, so Deryk sent me a message a week or two ago and said that he still had these flat cars and wanted to know if I was still interested. So for the price of the freight to get them here, Deryk sent me 5 boxes of flat cars, and I think there's probably 10 or 12 in here, along with some trailers that were new, hadn't been put together, all the repair parts for the flat cars. And I just thought that was a really great gesture for Deryk to do that. He wanted to give them to me for nothing, and I tried to offer him a price, and he said, no, I'm just going to throw them away anyway. And I said, well, don't do that. At least let me pay the freight. So he did, and he sent them to me, and they're great. I mean, it was like Christmas morning when that package arrived. The second group of stuff that you see here is from another friend of mine, Thomas McEwen. And Thomas, he's got, his channel is TN Shortline Fan. And Deryk, I know your channel used to be Glass 77, but I've forgotten, it's Keystone something, and I apologize, but I'll put it in a link here below the video so you can subscribe to Deryk if you haven't. But anyway, back to Thomas. I went down to visit Thomas a few weeks ago. Gosh, maybe it's even months ago now. But my background, which you can see there, Thomas wanted to create something like that on his layout, so he invited me down to show him how to paint that background. And when he first asked me, I thought, boy, this is great, but what if I screw up his backdrop, and he doesn't like me anymore because I've ruined his backdrop. But he said that the only thing he wanted me to do was show him the technique. And so I went down, took my brushes down that I used, and gave those to Thomas. And Thomas kids about the fact that he's never bought anything for his layout. He has the good fortune of knowing a lot of guys who are either getting out of the hobby or know people who are getting out of the hobby. He's come across some hobby shops that were going out of business, and he had this huge tub, plastic storage bin of stuff that he wasn't going to use. And he told me, he said, just take your time, go through it, pick out what you want, and be happy for you to have it. So over here on this section, there are some trees and some stumps and a bunch of scenic material, grasses and ground cover and that kind of thing. He had this one covered hopper, which just needed one freight truck on. I haven't put that on there yet, but he gave me that. He gave me this brand new Proto 2000 tank car, which does not go with his layout. And you know me, heck, anything goes with my layout, so you know I'll take it. But you know, cool little tank car here. A little bit out of period for Thomas's layout, but my period is whatever I want to run. So we got those two cars, and he gave me a bunch of other scenery material. These are some culverts and some retaining walls and so forth. A whole stack of decals here, which will come in handy in a minute when I show you the rest of the stuff that I have. So there's, I don't know, there's a dozen or so packets of decals. Some spray lacquer, some Rust-Oleum, a bunch of little trees. I think you can see it in the background there. There's one of those foam fake cliff faces. And I hope to incorporate that over behind the coal mine over there. So I'm going to adjust the camera just to make sure you can see the rest of this. If I can do that without knocking it over, will be great. Let me just put this over here for a second. And hopefully okay, so the rest of the stuff, it was already assembled like a little strip mall. It's got 4 stores in it. A little box of odds and ends. Everybody needs a box of odds and ends. A piece of roofing material. And then a ton of talus and easy water. So, you know, gosh, I don't know, if I had to buy all this stuff, it would have probably been in the hundreds of dollars. And I really appreciate Thomas letting me have this stuff, kind of rummaging through it, and you know, taking what I needed. So, oh, there was one other thing too, which let me just take the camera off the stand here for a second, and I'm going to swing back around. And back there in the corner, that building with the door in it and those 2 silos, some other odds and ends that he had. The building was white. I painted it sort of a, I think that's camouflage tan from Rust-Oleum. And I may put some stripes on it, add some roof details, you know, maybe put some doors and windows, more doors and windows in there. But anyhow, that was in the box too, so I got that. All right, so back to this side of the layout, and moving down the line here. I went to Chattanooga a couple of weeks ago on business, and I sent a message to Steve Dafron. Hopefully, Steve, I didn't mispronounce your last name. But he's Southern 8099 on YouTube. You've probably seen him on the Model Builders Live shows. But Steve is a member of the Chattanooga Choo-Choo Model Railroad Club. It's the one right downtown Chattanooga, in the hotel there. And so Steve and his club kind of keep that layout running for the Choo-Choo museum and so forth. But anyway, Steve gave me this commemorative boxcar when I went to, I took him out to dinner. He had been very, very good to my daughter and her family when they went to visit Chattanooga, got him into the layout and everything, so my grandsons were really appreciative. But anyway, you know, so I decided, well, heck, I'll take Steve out to dinner and thank him for that, and he comes with this boxcar. And it's Chattanooga Area Model Railroad Club commemorative car. The 1968 is the year that the club was founded, and it's Chattanooga and Southern road name. Have not put together that, obviously, yet, but looking forward to doing that. So moving on down, there is also a hobby shop in Chattanooga that has a lot of stuff that is mainly consignment. And you've probably seen these before. These are background buildings, just on cardstock. So they had a package of these for, I don't know, a couple of bucks. It was open. Some of the buildings have been used. You know, there's some signs cut out and so forth. But I picked this up. I thought I could use them back over here on the wall next to the auto plant, between there and the grain silos. You know, there's this one downtown section here. I don't know if I'll use that, but this one here is the one that actually caught my eye in there. Let me set that up there. it's the back of an industrial area. And I don't have a whole lot of real estate to cover there, but I thought I would at least use that and the smokestack that's right here. It's, I don't know what that is, maybe 15, 16 inches tall. And then there's a tiny little back of a warehouse. And then there's another street scene here. I may be able to salvage the hotel and the building next to it off of there. So, what else? Oh, same hobby shop. The guy had all of these, I guess they're 89-foot auto parts boxcars for sale. The ones that are decorated were $7 a piece, I believe. Brand new. Parts bag still in there. So I got 4 decorated. There's a Western Pacific. I'm not sure who STS is. You know, I haven't even looked at these things yet. Superior Transportation Systems is what it says. WCRC. Some of you railroad historians and statisticians will know what that road name is. 2 Burlingtons. They look exactly the same. I'm not sure if the road numbers are different. I really don't care if they are. And then 3 undecorated boxcars. The undecorated ones were $5 a piece. And he's trying to get rid of these things. So if I go back to Chattanooga soon, I'm going to get the rest of them. And then this Western Pacific caboose, which I bought to go along with my Western Pacific locomotives. So the undecorated boxcars, as luck would have it, I now have a bunch of decals that I can apply to those. So I've got my choice of road names here, thanks to Thomas. But so the last thing I wanted to show you was up here on the back ridge, and let me get some stuff out of the way here so I don't break my neck while I'm trying to talk about this. So the Western Pacific GP40 that you see on the right is the one I had before, the one I was, in love with. I found another one on eBay. The guy actually had 2 of them, and this one, the one on the left, is the same road number as the one I previously had. They're both 3511, and I was actually bidding on the other one that he had, was like 3509. I was hoping to get it. I didn't, but I was lucky enough to get this one. So I now have 2 of those. So I'm really happy about that. And same auction. These are Atlases, by the way. Both Atlas. Same auction. He had these 2 other Western Pacifics, F7 A and B, both powered. These are Intermountain units. And I've never had Intermountains before. I've never had anything, nearly as nice as this. There's a bunch of details left to be applied yet. They were DCC ready, as was the Western Pacific GP40. So I've got decoders in those now. And the reason that I got these, I don't have a passenger train yet on the layout. And I thought, these were such a good price and readily available that I would go ahead and get them, and I can model a California Zephyr passenger train. Those of you who are familiar with that train ran from Chicago to LA, I believe, possibly San Francisco, I'm not sure. But it was handled by 3 railroads. The CB&Q started with it out of Chicago, pulled it to somewhere in the Midwest where the Western Pacific, the Rio Grande, Denver and Rio Grande Western took over, and from there, further towards the west, the Western Pacific picked it up and took it the rest of the way to the coast. So at least I can model the Western Pacific version of that. So one of these days, maybe I'll get that. But that's really all I have to tell you. I'm sorry that it's been so long since I put a video up. I've been out of town, as I said, and just kind of crazy with work here. But what I'm going to do is, obviously I'll put all this stuff away here now that I've told you about it. But please check the comments below the video, and I'll put links in there to the channels for Steve, Thomas, and Deryk. And if you're not a subscriber, please check them out and subscribe. They're great guys. So I'm going to put all this away, and this side of the layout is where I'm going to start with scenery next. So, you know, all my other videos with running trains in them, you've seen this corner, and I bet you're tired of it. But I'm going to start up the hill with ground cover and trees. So that's going to be the next project that I'm working on. I think in the last video, it's been so dang long I forget, but over here in the corner, you know, I've got the kind of the mountain with the rock cut in there. It's painted green right now. Oh, I did do another little project. This one bridge in the front here was sagging. I didn't have the 45-degree braces in it, so I added those, and I also added two, I don't know if you can see them, balsa support strips underneath. So now it's quite rigid. It holds the trains going across, doesn't move when they travel there. So that's about the only project I've worked on. You know, I think I talked about the cut stone support, so they're in. But anyway, I'm kind of dragging on. I want to cut this shot off short, but so stay tuned. Hopefully in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'll be able to get this scenery in here, at least all the way up the hill to the bridge, and then you know, I'll start down the hill on the other side here and move on to the rock cut and the hillside in the corner. So thanks for all the new subscriptions, folks that have been with me forever. I appreciate your support and you're staying with me, and look forward to more videos soon. And again, check out the links to the videos and to the YouTube sites below, the YouTube channels. Take care.